Hello everyone and welcome to the AK EDUFUSION YouTube channel, where we learn anything with tricks. Today, we are diving deep into a really cool period of ancient Indian history. Think of it like a huge tournament, a real-life game of kingdoms, with 16 powerful contenders all fighting for the top spot.
So here's the big question, right? How in the world are you supposed to remember the names of 16 different ancient kingdoms and their capitals? And maybe even more interesting, how did one of them rise up to beat all the others? Well, don't worry, because we've got you covered. We have some amazing memory tricks for the first part and an absolutely epic story for the second. Okay, so let's set the stage. We're going back to around the 6th century BC. And get this, iron technology was having a huge moment. It was a total game changer. Better iron tools meant more farming, which meant a ton of extra food. All this new wealth let these smaller territories, called Janapadas, start to merge and grow into 16 super powerful kingdoms.
And they weren't just any old kingdoms. They were known as the Mahajanapadas. If you break it down, Maha means great, and Janapada means foothold of a people. So these were literally the great kingdoms, the real heavyweights of their time, all stepping into the ring for what would be a century-long fight for total control. All right, now for my favorite part. Trying to memorize all 16 of these names can feel like studying for a test, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to use some really simple and kind of funny memory hacks that'll make these names stick in your head. So let's meet our contenders. First up in the arena, we have the Kingdom of Anga. This was a really important place, known for its trade and wealth. But how do we remember its capital? It's super simple. Just remember this little phrase, Ang me champi. In Hindi, Ang means a part of your body. So just picture getting a nice, relaxing head and body massage, a champi, on every single Ang of your body. It sounds a little silly, I know, but trust me, it works. And boom, just like that, you've got it. The capital of Anga is Champa. See? I told you it would be fun. Let's do another one. Okay, next up is the Kingdom of Matsya. You ready for the next trick? This one's even easier. So the clue is right in the name. Matsya literally means fish. So all you have to do is think of the biggest, most gigantic fish you can possibly imagine, like a truly colossal fish. The Hindi word for something that massive is Virat. And there you go. A giant Virat fish leads you right to the capital, Viratnagar. Seriously, how easy is that? Okay, here's a whole cheat sheet for you, but let's just pick out a few more good ones. For Magadha, the kingdom that ends up winning it all, just think of a king's house, Raja Kagar. That points you straight to Rajgriha. Or how about Mala? Mala means wrestler, so just picture a happy wrestler full of khushi or joy, which gives you Kushinara. These little stories make it so much easier to remember. So, now that we know who the players are, let's get back to the main story. Because out of all 16 of these kingdoms, one of them, Magadha, wasn't just playing to compete, it was playing to win. The big question is, why? What made Magadha so special? Well, Magadha basically started the game with an unfair advantage. First off, its capital, Rajgir, was a natural fortress. It was surrounded by 5 huge hills, which made it almost impossible for anyone to attack. Second, it was sitting on top of a massive supply of iron ore. That meant better, stronger weapons and tools than everybody else. And third, it was located right in the middle of the super fertile Ganga River Valley, which meant they always had extra food and became incredibly wealthy from taxes. Geography was definitely on their side. But having great resources isn't enough, right? You need smart, ambitious, and sometimes ruthless leaders to turn all that potential into an actual empire. And let me tell you, Magadha had some of the best. The first great king was Bimbisara, and he had this amazing 3-part strategy. First, diplomacy. He once sent his own doctor to heal an enemy king, turning a rival into a friend. Smart. Second, dowry. He made marriage alliances with powerful kingdoms, securing his borders and even getting new territories. And third, when that didn't work, he used pure domination, conquering Anga to settle an old family score. But then came his son, Ajatashatru, and he was the total opposite. If Bimbisara was the diplomat, Ajatashatru was the conqueror. This guy was so hungry for power, he actually threw his own dad in prison and starved him to death just to take the throne. Then he started a massive 16-year war against his own mom's family, a completely different and much more brutal style of rule. And check out the crazy weapons he invented to win his wars. He had the Ratha Masala. This was a chariot with huge spinning blades on the side to just mow down enemy soldiers. Yep, just like in the movie Bahubali. And he also had the Mahajanapadas, which was basically a giant catapult that could launch massive stones and smash city walls. This was some next-level military tech for the time.
The final, brilliant move came from Ajatashatru's son, Udayin. He realized that the hilly capital of Rajgir was great for defense, but it wasn't the best spot for running a huge empire. So he moved the capital to a brand new city, Pataliputra, located right where two major rivers met. This was a masterstroke that set the stage for centuries of future Indian empires.
So after all the alliances, the betrayals, and the brutal wars, the game was finally coming to an end. By the middle of the 4th century BC, out of the original 16 contenders, only 4 were left standing: Koshala, Avanti, Vatsa, and of course, the undisputed champion, Magadha.
And all of this brings us to one last question for you to think about. What does it really take to build an empire? Was Magadha's rise all about the luck of its geography? Was it the clever diplomacy of its leaders? Or, in the end, does it all just come down to having the biggest army and using sheer, brutal force? It's a tough one to answer.